Now, this is not a personal attack on any one of these young men, but I do want to take the time to publicly apologize for endorsing these three individuals in my early or beginning stages in the Christian media world. I fully acknowledge my error and whatnot, and I believe that the Lord allowed me to really see how easy it is, excuse me, to get like kind of lured in or entangled or wrapped up in individuals that merge truth with lies. And that is what a lot of people do these days, and especially a lot of these self-proclaimed prophets and preachers and whatnot. They merge truth with error that is not just little errors. Understand, we can all make mistakes here and there and whatnot, but I'm talking about spiritual errors that can be detrimental to one's walk with the Lord Christ. Okay. um yeah, like things like the tongues being gibberish and not having an interpretation or nobody understanding, that gross error of the scriptures that they preach. That's totally inconsistent with First Corinthians 14 or any other passage in the Bible regarding tongues. That's, tongues with no interpretations. That's 100% demonic. I have the all the information on my page, the occult aspect of it, what God has led me into, all of that, right? So, and I'm not coming from a place of superiority or nothing like that, but I do believe God called me, showed me things, and called me out of darkness and started walking me into what He has for me to do. So, I understand that when people merge aspects of truth with error, they're like a lure, right? Like a bait in the hook. So they get you with all the spiritual hype and all of the end times exposure and all the exposure of the false prophets and all of that stuff. And then they lure you into a bunch of spiritual mysticism and a total perversion of scripture. And that is that, to merge truth with a lie is worse than somebody that's of another faith. You're in the faith and you're merging truth with a lie. That's worse than the guy in the Buddhist temple, because we know what he is, but the devil is using some people from within, and that's worse. So I just want to again to acknowledge my error and my mistake, and actually thinking because people had platforms and numbers that meant God had lifted them up. I wasn't aware that people were, using media promotion, marketing campaigns and stuff like that to lift themselves up. Not to say everybody that has is automatically false. I'm not going to make a broad statement, blanket statement like that, but a lot of people have. And I totally acknowledge my error in endorsing any of these three young men right here. God bless.